Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. It's just Marco here once again. Um, this might be a shorter video, but whenever I say that, it's probably going to be longer. Um, I have a couple of movies that I could talk about because I've been watching just almost every day a new movie for fun, and yeah, I guess that's fine though, because at some point I'll be completely better and I won't be like just watching movies every day, or like I'll be doing TV shows and books and stuff like that too. But yeah, I wanted to talk about a movie I watched called Freeway. There was another Kiefer Sutherland movie I wanted to talk about too, but it's a little bit lesser known, and I think it will take a little bit more time to completely go through. So Freeway, this is a movie that I've been wanting to watch for a couple of years, actually. And it looked really good. You got Kiefer Sutherland, Reese Witherspoon. He plays a serial killer, and that's where we run into issues already. This movie is supposed to be a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood with a ton of twists and turns. Unfortunately, from the very beginning, you see this opening with this cartoon sequence. The movie's very much like Natural Born Killers, but crappier. It's like a Natural Born Killers without the good story. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... But yeah, the cartoon sequence was a big red flag because it was very hyper, very weird, very just over the top, stupid, dumb. Then the movie starts. And, this movie is like, what if Rob Zombie and Lloyd Kaufman got together and made Little Red Riding Hood? That's how bad it is. First off, Reese Witherspoon, she is one of the most annoying characters, one of the most unlikable characters in movie history. Like, she does a couple of things that I liked, like obviously shooting the bad guy in the middle of the movie, spoiler alert. But she is so irritating. She is like nails on a chalkboard irritating. And the whole movie's about her. She's the star of the movie, and yeah. And so she, through events that are out of her control, her parents get arrested, her stepfather is abusive, he's been raping her up the ass apparently, and specifically, and then her mother gets arrested for prostituting and doing drugs. So she gets the idea to go to her grandmother's and stay with her. And that's where she meets Kiefer Sutherland when her car breaks down. And, the whole part with him and her, the whole sequence where he's driving her and they're talking and, he's kind of, he's a wolf in sheep's clothing at that point. That was really, really good. I really liked that part a lot, but then there's a turn. The movie takes a turn, and it literally takes a turn, actually. Like, she tells Kiefer to turn off the road because she has a gun pointed at his head. And she shoots and kills him, supposedly. The rest of the movie is just bizarre, bad. It's nothing like the first half. The first half, you're thinking, okay, this is going to be like Jeepers Creepers meets The Hitcher. Maybe. Like, actually, it would have been cooler if it turned out that he was like a werewolf or something, and so then, like, he would become a werewolf for the second half of the movie, maybe. That would have been cooler. Or something like that. But instead, it turns into a women's prison movie, and where Reese Witherspoon is just full on annoying. She does everything wrong. I just hated it. It was a struggle to get through the second half. I didn't want to finish it. And then it turns out Kiefer is alive. And this is where some of the creativity comes in, because he's just really messed up from getting shot, and it looks really hilarious, the makeup job, and it looks really, really funny and kind of creepy too. I did like that. I thought that was creative. So maybe they could have done that. They could have done that in like the last 20 minutes of the movie or something, and then for the rest of it just have more of the Hitcher Jeepers Creepers type of stuff go on. Because there's no chase. There's no point where it's like he's chasing her or something. Like, that's what I thought the movie was going to be. I didn't know the movie was going to be he picks her up. And the thing is, too, he learns everything about her. He learns things that she's never told anyone before. He gets into her head. And I thought that was really cool, because then in the second half of the movie, he's going to be able to use all that stuff that she told him against her. And he's going to be able to completely, have the upper hand in this chase. But no, that's not what happens. She has the gun from her boyfriend, Chopper, and Chopper died at the beginning of the movie, by the way. Which was funny, because I thought that the name Chopper implied that he was going to be like the hunter who came at the end and saved her or something. So at the end of the movie, the police, I did like the two detectives too. They were both really good. They figure out what's really going on, and they go to the Mr. Wolverton's house. And this is another sad thing too. I really loved his house. It was like this white house, and it was very nice but kind of creepy, because there were all these wolf statues. I thought that house is really cool. They really wasted that house set for this movie, honestly. But unfortunately, Mr. Wolverton, he sees what they're doing, and he gets away. And the last 15 minutes is him going to the grandma's house, doing what he did in Little Red Riding Hood, and then Reese Witherspoon, though, she comes and defeats him. The one thing I really love, though, about the ending, I didn't really like the ending or any of the second half, but the one thing I did love was that Kiefer Sutherland, he had this voice box thing, and it made him sound so creepy. It just made him sound like a wolf, and I thought that was really cool too. And that was really creative. Other than that, though, I hated the second half of this movie. It was like a total bummer, because I thought, they could never make this movie again. They could never get Kiefer Sutherland to look like he did years ago. They could never get, I wouldn't want that anyway, because I didn't like this white trash Red Riding Hood. That's just wrong. Ugh. It seriously reminded me of what if Rob Zombie got his wife to be the main character, and then it's a white trash movie. That's what it reminded me of, with lots of touches of Lloyd Kaufman too. Goofy, stupid shit. So that's my review. See, a lot of these movies I've been watching too, you could just do these little tiny reviews, and that would be sufficient for the movie. You don't have to go on for an hour about Freeway. Did I even ever say the name for this movie at the beginning? I don't think I even did. So, in terms of food, unfortunately, it's hard to think of something where the first half is really good and the second half is trash. Okay, well, actually, we have this pizza place that is really overrated, but it's okay. I think this movie's overrated too, by the way. I think that, you know what? This is one of those ones where I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of glad that it's not as popular, because it could have been great. You know, it could have been really, really good, and instead it was trash in the second half. Like, it really, really fumbled. Like, I did not want to see Reese Witherspoon, like, fucking... And that's the thing, too. Like, after all that she's been through, near the end of the movie, she's starting to prostitute herself and basically rob men. And then she took this guy hostage or something. Like, it was really stupid. It was totally like, oh, you didn't learn anything the whole movie. You didn't become, like, a more decent person. You're still trash. Like, fucking straight out of Trailer Park Boys. Except at least in Trailer Park Boys, the characters are really likable and funny and fun. And they're not like, oh. I mean, then again, though, it really is because Reese Witherspoon is a great actress that this character was this annoying. You know, if this was like... trying to think of like a bad actress from that time period. It's harder to think of bad actresses from that time period as opposed to, you know, 2023, where you have like 90% bad actresses. Let's see. I can't... I don't really like Daryl Hannah very much, so I guess I'll just say her. I know that that's random, but that's just like... I don't really like her as much, and I guess she could have played... No, I don't know. But if they had someone else who wasn't as good as Reese Witherspoon, this character would have been kind of bland. You know, she really did a good job, at least, playing the character in the script. But yeah, there's this pizza place called Marion's. It's really overrated. It's really, really fucking overrated. It's really like cheap, greasy pizza. It's all thin crust. It's good for like birthday parties, like if you want to have a party with 40 people and you take them to Marion's. And it's okay. It's like a C+ if you're in the mood for it. You know, most of the time it's like, no thanks, I'll eat quality pizza, which you can't even get around here. But then if you keep that Marion's pizza for the second day, you are in for a rude surprise, because it is awful. It is just completely not the same. It tastes different. It gives you a ton of stomach acid. It ruins your day if you eat Marion's pizza for the second day as leftovers. And I feel like that's what Freeway is. You watch the first half, what the movie could have been, and then you just throw it in the trash. So yeah, I'm kind of upset that I watched this movie, because for years I just thought, that's obviously a good movie. I don't even have to watch it to know that's going to be a really good movie when I finally watch it. And what do you know? It's one of those movies where, like Poltergeist, for instance, where, I finally watch it and it's just fucking awful. So yeah, it's unfortunate. I really hate that I had to give a bad review to this movie out of all movies. Like, yeah. I think, too, it's unfortunate that the guy who made this didn't try to make a sequel or a prequel or adapt another fairy tale, because that would be interesting. Like, just don't do white trash next time. Do, like, I don't know. Like, let's see, what could you do that could be interesting? You could do like the little boy who cried monster, I guess. And instead of like monster, you could do little boy who cried pedophile or something. I don't know. That'd be a little too much. But I don't know. Like, see, it's hard. It's hard to think like themes. What kind of theme could you do? You could do like I don't know. I don't fucking know. Humpty Dumpty, but fucking I don't know. You could do, what could you do? Does anyone have any ideas of like any fairy tales that you could? You know what? That's a challenge. Actually, that is a challenge. I bet I could think of one off camera. It'll probably come in like 2 seconds. But right now, like off the top of my head, all I'm thinking about is the play that I did as a kid, which was the Great Omelet Caper, where me and this Asian girl, we were gonna kidnap Humpty Dumpty and kill him and then cook him for people to eat. That was pretty good, actually. That could have been pretty good. So anyways, I might do a review tomorrow of the other movie, which is The Killing Time. That one will take a little bit more time, which is funny since it has time in the title. And yeah, I've reviewed also Time After Time, so who knows? Maybe I'll review a third movie with time in the title this year. So please like this video, comment, tell me what you thought of Freeway. I know a ton of people think it's really, really good, which is good because I think that even if I don't enjoy a movie, I hope that maybe other people do instead. And then please subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more honest movie reviews. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.